Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Boom. We're here. We're show number 127. Renika and I are here to answer your questions. Adrian won't be here tonight, but I think we can hold it down. Y'all just have to bear with me. And so while I just do a few shout outs here, got somebody in Cleveland, D. Motley. Got Atlanta in the house, Ryan H. D.W. Corbin in Florida. Eastern North Carolina, Richard Williams. Columbus, Ohio, Tyrone Liggins. What up, Ty? Zappy Zippity says, yo, what up? Carlton Dorvell, hey. Efren Ortiz from Chicago. What's going on, Efren? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. We got I think that's a Miss Curtis in Oakland, California. Tennessee, OG Primo. New Orleans, Gerson Flores. So Atlanta again, Brian Parkman. We got them all over the place. Los Angeles, Bridget Barnett. What's going on, everybody? Real property investors. Good evening, Ty and fam. Tuscaloosa here as usual. That's what's up, my man. California here for Emmett Apparel. New York, Turbo TV, Turbo JTV. And we'll go ahead and start with some questions here, since we got a lot of people recognized. But before we get started, anything you want to say, Renika, before we get started?
I'm ready to get started.
All right. So they're asking you this particular question. Carlton Darville Jr., Renika, are you buying? This is from, let me put it up. Are you buying houses in Americus, Georgia, Renikia?
Multifamily. I can find if you can give me a good multifamily, yes. Single family is it's not that I wouldn't buy or I don't have an investor to buy in that area. It's just so far from Atlanta that it won't be in your best interest to do one or two deals in that area. So I would rather have a large portfolio to open up a new market like that.
Okay. All right. So that answers that. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Everybody's still just shouting out. I'm glad to see all you guys here. I think this time works a little bit better for everybody involved. All right. Here's a good question. They're all good questions. Can you explain the difference between land trust and LLC, and which one is better to put a property in?
So, land trust or LLC. I would say this, there's many different trusts that you could put your property in. So I would say the real question would be, if I want to purchase in a trust, which trust would be the best? Because all of them have their benefits and benefits. If it's a land trust or irrevocable trust, revocable trust, all of them have their benefits, and you can purchase properties in that trust. But you just want to seek a CPA or someone who could really give you detail of each one of those benefits, so you know which one best fit you and what you're trying to accomplish. But if I had to choose between, I really couldn't. It really depends on the situation and the overall what you're looking to accomplish. The average person is going to buy an LLC, but can you buy an LLC and then deed it into your trust? Absolutely. Either one works. It just really depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
But I would definitely say, if you're looking to get finance, most private lenders and traditional banks do not finance a property owned by trusts, because of the benefits of the fact that you can't sue them, foreclose on it and things of that nature. So just be mindful of that if you look into use trust.
All right. MC Kenny says, do I need a license to do subject to?
No. You do not need to be licensed to do a subject to. Absolutely not. There's no different from you doing a wholesale deal or purchase and sell, fix and flip, there's no difference. It's just a strategy. So subject to is a strategy, not necessarily something that you got to be licensed for.
Okay. Someone says, would you be interested in student housing?
Absolutely. If the numbers make sense. Absolutely. Where are the student houses?
All right, Ken Garner, where are the student houses? Could you give us more details as far as the number of units, occupancy rate? Give us some details about the property price, type of income, if I didn't say that already. So just give us some more info. So let me see what I can get from Instagram here. All right. Somebody from Instagram, property _property solutions, says, what can you do when lawyers represent the estate and are slowing down the process? Slowing the process up is what he said, but slowing down the process.
I mean, I'll let Ty answer that too. It's really nothing you can do when the lawyers are slowing down the process. Maybe threaten them to move it to, but you can't because they are the representative of the seller. If he said that correctly, so it's one of them things you can put some fire behind them, let them know that hey, time is of the essence. We on the contract. This is the deadline date. If you can't meet it, there's a chance of forfeiting your earnest money. Things of that nature. So, just want to try to put some fire behind them. What do you think, son?
Yeah. I would, sometimes they're slow. Ain't really no rhyme or reason behind it. Sometimes they're just slow. So, and that can be defined in a lot of ways. How long have you been working on it? You know what I'm saying? So, but if they're actually still, the deal is active, it's just, they're just going through what they go through, their process. Really, the only thing you can do is just keep monitoring it and move on to another deal. As you normally would if it was going to close next week. You're trying to get as many deals in the pipeline as possible. So if they're active and you're pretty confident they're still going to do what they need to do on the end, it just may take longer than what you want. Just follow up as you need to and continue to push on to other opportunities.
No, I like that. And just to add to that follow-up is very important because sometimes I notice when you just call people every day, it's like, hey, just want to follow up. It pushes people to do something because they tired of you calling them anyway. So, being able to follow up first thing in the morning, at noon, at the end of the day. And honestly, people get tired of you calling them. So they'll just do what they need to do just to get you out the way. So, you use different strategies to help yourself.
All right. Worldwide something on Instagram. So I need one of your contracts. All you have to do is just you can do a search for 2020 contract update and Flipman on YouTube, and that'll show you how to get access to it or whatever, free. All right. So we have Terry Wilson from YouTube. Hey Ty, what's a good daily routine to consistently produce deals? Like what should I be constantly done other than bandit signs? Well, it's always going to start with what resources that you have available to you. One of the things, and I'm constantly trying to get things to do for my nephew who really is not interested in this business, but he got his hand out, and I'm not with just giving out money. So listening to, I don't know who I stumbled on to. I normally don't listen to a lot of stuff, or whatever. Not that I know everything by no means. It just, whatever. And I stumbled onto this video, and this guy said they did 48 deals just from driving for dollars, right? And so that's, picking up that side of it, because I really haven't done it in a long time. But I'm getting him to do it, and he's still messing that up. It's not brain surgery. but anyway, so as a daily routine, I would do that. If you have the time to permit, or someone could do it for you. You definitely, if you can build your list through the various services such as Digulate, AK, PropStream, you could do some cold calling. It just depends on your budget, because you get into direct mail, you can get into Google AdWords, Facebook ads, ringless voicemail, text messaging. It just depends on what type of war chest and time you have to apply different marketing strategies. It's sort of hard to answer that question without knowing what your time is like and what resources you have to dedicate to it. So, I guess I need to ask another question. All right, hello, time check.
We like to just show up.
Yeah, I just like. Well, I do a little more to show up. I don't know all day, but it's a lot easier with the service I'm dealing with. So it's a lot easier than before. All right, so Ephraim Ortiz says advice on buying a pre-foreclosure owner owes about $44,000 would be my first deal. Ephraim, I'm not sure why I even posted your question, because I knew what the response was going to be. We don't have enough information. We would need to know what the ARV is on the property, and then somewhat of an idea what the condition of the property to answer that question or whatever. So really, I'm not sure what else we can tell you on that one. So you're going to have to follow up with some more information about the property.
Right. And also wanted the pre-foreclosure, it haven't really been foreclosed on. So, just kind of get an understanding of, can the buyer sell it? Because sometimes once it get foreclosed on and someone buy that tax lien, that buyer no longer have the right to sell it either. So
correct. All right. So Maurice Quentin says, where can I get a proof of funds letter without paying someone? I'll let you answer that. What you got?
Oh, well, you got the service.
It's going to be different.
I'm out of charge. He don't want my service.
Yeah, what I'm saying, service I recommend charges also. I'm not sure where you get that, my man. If you're dipping in those type of waters where you need proof of funds and you don't have a way of source to even buy it or whatever, then you don't have to pursue deals that need proof of funds. You deal directly with owners, someone that's motivated to sell, they're not going to ask for proof of funds. If you're talking about dipping your toes into with real estate agents or something like that, then no, you're going to need proof of funds along with earnest money. So you probably just need to change direction on what type of properties you're targeting. Is the best suggestion I can give you on that. If you don't have the funds to pay for any of the services that Renika or myself could recommend. So
you can always go to a traditional bank. They'll give you a proof of funds letter.
Yeah, but
it may not be.
Yeah, but the problem is, they're gonna want some yeast in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna want to see them financials.
Yeah, if he can't afford a proof of funds letter, we're only talking a couple $100. That's normally don't mix. Y'all might be wrong.
Yeah.
He might have an 850. You know what I'm saying? But normally it doesn't work like that. But you got 850. That means you got a credit card. You can pay for one of the services. You can get a credit card. So it just don't match up. You know what I'm saying? So,
and how much do you believe in? See, people, you don't mind paying when you believe in what you're paying for, when you believe in what you're looking to do. So if I know that this proof of funds have $50,000 at the end of it, because once I invest $100 or $200 for a proof of funds, I can go out there and potentially wholesale some deals, flip some deals, and make money. You got to look at it as an investment, and you're going to get a return on your money once it comes back, and you reap the benefits. So look at it as an investment.
Yeah,
You need.
speaking of that, just to piggyback off of a video I did and posted on yesterday with one of my YouTube subscribers or whatever. They my man, he was let me remove this. He was driving Lyft. You know what I'm saying? They had some deals pending, but the point I'm gonna bring is he did what it did what it took to make it happen. He started driving Lyft, but not only that, because Lyft didn't exist in the market where he was trying to make the most money, he drove 3 hours every day.
Wow.
To do that one way.
Wow.
You know, but you just Google that title or whatever, and you can access that particular story from yesterday. But 60 deals in 1 year. You know, that was basically they did, I think, no deals in January of 2019, one in February, 1 or 2 in February, and then 7 in March, and it just took off from there or whatever.
Wow.
So, but they got it. They got it going.
Do what it takes.
Oh yeah, that's my point. Do what it actually takes. You know. So, so let's go back to the questions. Okay, well, they're all good questions. I keep saying that. All right, Ryan H says, what does it mean when a home is owned by an LLC? Are those good wholesaling deals to cold call?
So when it means that a property is owned by LLC, it just means it's no difference from when you purchase your property, you purchase it using the LLC. Most likely what that means when I see it is that it's an absentee owner. Most likely it's someone that have this property as an investment because they didn't buy it as a homeowner. They bought it as an entity. They bought it with a company, and that lets me know that it's probably a secondary property, and they're most likely an absentee owner. So those are the ones you really, really want to target. Especially homeowners that do not live in the house that you're seeking. What do you say, Tom?
If it's in an LLC, sometimes it may be a little difficult to find that person by phone, but normally it's going to be a mailing address because the tax bill has to go somewhere. Generally speaking, just playing the numbers out, at the end of the day, there's a human being behind it. They still get divorced. They still have tax issues. They still have medical issues or whatever. But more than likely, you won't find as many motivated sellers as you do if it's just in somebody's name, just from my experience. But they do exist. But the hardest thing, again, it boils down to being able to reach them by phone, which is what he was asking about. You know, you may be able to get a number, it just depends or whatever. But a lot of times you can't, so you'd have to reach out to them by mail in a lot of situations. So, But again, at the end of the day, a human being is behind that LLC or human beings. All right. So, question from the Instagram. When cold calling a new lead, if a seller asks where did you find their number, what do you say? I gotta go. You
I know you.
I get that a lot. And you say I use a service that matches owners and their phone numbers. That's it. I pay for it. Yeah. So there it is. You know, use a service that matches owners and phone numbers. So all right. This guy right here says, I'm coming across a lot of properties in Chicago, Derek J from Chicago, I guess, but no legit interest are those who want to lowball. All brick or gray stone, need help, need serious buyers in Chicago. He's looking for buyers. That's what that's what he's saying?
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. Okay. You know me, Chicago's a gold mine right now. I'm just so surprised that no one is jumping in what's going on in Chicago right now. I mean, they're giving away duplexes and quads and triplexes out there. I have clients, they're picking up these duplexes for like $37,000, $40,000 that is really worth like $250,000, $380,000, $350,000.
Well,
Like it's a freaking gold mine out there right now.
and it's the what third or fourth largest city, so that means a lot.
Yeah, people are sleeping on Chicago. I'm all in on Chicago. Email me what you have. I have a few contacts out there in Chicago. Email me at funding@fkfinancials.com because a lot of people slipping, but I see what's going on out there in Chicago.
Now, the one thing that we are assuming is that you have great deals.
I'm assuming you got great deals.
Yeah. Hey, do you
I'm
have
talking about, I know what's going on. It's 30, 40,000 for these duplexes out there.
Yeah. Do you have a property for sale or is it a great deal? There is a difference. You know, I'm not even questioning there are tons of crack cash buyers in Chicago, Illinois.
Absolutely.
It one or two things that happen to my man is either you find a buyer system is broken, and or you don't have great deals. In a market like that, it's so many investors. There's so much money there that it don't last hours. You know, if you have a great deal. So one of the two of those things are going on. So correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you don't. Well, you can just put up some numbers. We'll be happy to help you. Try to help you with that. So, all right. Okay. So, well, this is some work.
Adrian, oh my God.
Hey, so
this is more work than real estate right here.
I make my head hurt. Okay, so what is that? Chris, I guess we'll pronounce that Krys King. Mr. Flip, will it be okay to use my name on bandit signs? Example, Karen buys houses instead of we buy houses. I've seen that and I assume it works. You know, it really doesn't matter, I guess. You know, I'm gonna always side on doing something versus nothing. So I can't really tell you. Normally I can tell you on things on bandit signs that I've tried. I've never actually tried putting a name on a sign. That's something I've never tried before. So I can't tell you how effective it is or not. But at one of the real meetings that they had me to speak at here locally, convinced me to do. One of the guys that puts out a lot of signs, I didn't know him. It says this guy, well, I ain't gonna call his name, but buys houses. And so he walked up to the, to me at the end of it, like, hey man, I'm such and such. I said, all right, man, I said, wow. Right. Like, wow. Well, those signs are everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Right. And so he is handwritten, just black on yellow, which wouldn't be my choice or whatever. But he has them everywhere. So I'm assuming they are working because he normally has them out there a lot or whatever. So to answer your question, Chris, yeah, I'm gonna always side on doing something versus doing not anything. So Instagram.
And I add to that because there's a lady in Atlanta. I mean, we buy houses all over the place, but there's a lady in Atlanta that really stood out because she did put her name on her signs. And it do make you stand out. I can't lie. You don't want to put too much going on in your signs, but if you have one of those names that is memorable or simple, I have seen it work. She's very successful and one of the most successful women wholesalers in Atlanta right now. And she stands out because her bandit signs is a little bit different from everybody else.
Well, boom. And it doesn't have to be your name. It can be it can be a creative name.
It can be. It can say women buy houses, and people call that because they think some women behind it. It just,
this gal.
It's okay to stand out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it might be this gal buying houses. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And people call it this gal. Hey, I need to.
This gal. So, my man followed up on that slow lawyer. Hopefully, I can read this because my background on my shirt. Hold on. Okay. He says, well, he's taking forever to send the signed addendum from the daughter being the seller to the estate of the deceased mother.
Oh wow!
But it's 3 days short of a month. But I'm on the phone every day with everybody.
No.
So
That's one of the mistake things.
Yeah. So that's all. Well, it sounds like he just dragging his feet. If that's he just waiting for somebody to sign something or whatever.
Yeah. And those estate properties, that's kind of normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's taking months for those properties to be ready to sell, if that's what you have, a probate property.
Okay. Let me see here. What we got? All right. Any tips? Okay. All right. This is one for the peoples. Any tips on creating a buyer's list? Having a hard time in Memphis, Tennessee. Ooh, Memphis is pretty good for wholesaling.
Yeah, Memphis is
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you may want to add some tips there before I dive in on it. What do you think?
I know you're gonna. I mean, honestly, everyone is a buyer, but I would say, and I'll let Ty kind of go into the details of generating buyer leads, but I would say we get called when you do put your banner signs out and you have your post and everything out and you get these calls. I think it's very important for you to create like an Excel spreadsheet or a database, and whoever called, just begin to put that on that spreadsheet, because sometimes people will call you today and you don't have a property to sell them. But if you didn't write down their information, and 6 months later and that property that fits what they asked for, and you don't have their phone number to call them back. The money is always in the follow-up. So as you are doing lead generating, you want to create some type of buyer list database. No matter what they want, put them on that database with their phone numbers, their email address, and exactly what they're looking for, so you can begin to build a buyer's list. And I also would say, when I first got in the game, they used to always say about buyer's list, buyer list, buyer list. What I realized, I don't want 100 buyers on my list that never buys. I found out that it was okay to have 5 solid good buyers on my buyers list that's always buying. So when I found those 5 to 10 good buyers, I didn't need 100 buyers on my list. I needed my 5 to 10 players who I know wanted to buy a minimum of 2 to 3 deals from me a month. And when I created that, it became my database. So don't look at it as you need 1,000 people in your database. You just need people who really buy in your database.
All right. One of the things when I first started, y'all know how big I am with website names and all that stuff, and I let some stuff go. I let go after the 07, 08, 09 fiasco or whatever, because I sort of dialed it down or whatever, not by choice, but I was still new to real estate. And one of the things that really worked for me, and I just really put this back into motion this week, I'm talking about years have passed, you know what I'm saying? So one of the things that you can really do, and I know people gonna copycat me here or whatever, so I don't care, it is what it is. There's enough money out there for everybody. One of the things that you can do is create a website, right? A hub for, now a lot of ways to find, but I'm just going through this because I'm thinking through it. I'm just going to share it. Create a website and just try to educate you a little bit on this, because it's a hobby of mine. I think I may know a little bit more than most about it. Is when you're creating a website, I know people want to include their names and all this stuff or whatever. Whenever you're thinking of a website, there's several just basic rules to it. Well, you coming up with a name. It's called a domain name, but people know it as a website name. That's the whatever.com. Is you want to keep it as short as possible, right? And if possible, it says what you do, right? So I don't know, like I have, now this is really longer than what I like, but it says what I do, but it's more catered to sellers. Like I told you, I had AtlantaCashBuyers.com, and I said what you do. You know what I'm saying? Now that would be more targeting sellers, just to give an example. but you may have Atlanta. I don't know if this is available now. It's probably not, but you may have Atlanta, ATLcheaphouses.com, right?
Right.
And so now you market that, you put out a banner sign that says ATL Cheap Houses ATL Cheap Houses, and then you may have a bar there that says Google us ATL Cheap Houses.com, and then call or text and a phone number. Now, what happens when you do that? You're going to whenever you put out for sale signs versus signs that when you're trying to attract sellers, you're going to always, from my experience, get way more calls from people looking to buy versus people looking to sell, right? From my experience, when putting out signs. All right, now some of those are going to be, do y'all rent houses? Do y'all do rent to own and all that kind of stuff? And sometimes those will be opportunities, because somebody may call and say you got a rent to own or do a rent to own, but you may have a property on the contract for 30 grand, but they got 20. You know what I'm saying? And you may be able to go back to the seller and say, hey, would you take 10,000 down, and finance the rest, blah, blah. And then you put the other 10 in your pocket or whatever. So, but that ain't what you got to sign out there for. I'm just saying that the opportunity could present itself or whatever. But now you got people knowing where to go, ATLcheaphouses.com. They know where to go to look for deals. And so you're branding that just all the time or whatever. So, that's one thing that people, trust me, you're sleeping on. I just put these signs out yesterday. They got here Tuesday. I picked up my sign guy, drove them around. We put out about 40. And I can tell on my phone when people go to my website, it just been going. I got a little bit when people go to the site, the activity has been picking up or whatever, just like that. Or whatever. I'm just like, boom, just you already know that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, what do your signs say?
I put out their sign because the people gonna see it. Well, I don't care. They say, matter of fact, I'll show you the logo. Hold on, I'll do that. I'll just go ahead and just put it out there. But the signs, where is my thing here?
That's really nice. That tracker that you put on your website is really, really nice.
Oh yeah, because I know if it's working or not, beyond if people are calling. So this is the logo I came up with, right? Let me show you guys. I just begin all my nuggets away here, but whatever. So that's
dog cheap.
Yeah, so that's that's the logo when you go to the site dogcheap.com. You'll see see what's on there right now. And most of the time the houses that are there, those will be the ones that I may have a little struggle with finding buyers with or whatever. But one I don't even make them, they won't even make it there or whatever. So and now
it's catchy and it stands out.
Oh yeah. And then the way the signs look, let me see here. Do I have that? Let me see. Now, this is not the yes, it may be. Let me see. So that's how the signs look, right?
Nice.
See that? So
I like that.
So boom.
And that stands out.
Yeah.
And that's no difference from women buy houses or whatever. Dog cheap. I mean, it stands out. If they don't remember the number, they will remember dogcheap.com.
Exactly. It's called branding. I'm getting at all that. That's short. There's only 9 characters, right? Dog is 4, cheap is 5. That's 9 characters, right? And the rule of thumb with a website, if you heard a radio commercial, right, one time, can you remember it? That's a good domain name. That's a good website name. Or if you saw it on a billboard or a banner sign one time, can you remember it? If you keep those things in mind, like now, dog cheap, the word really doesn't tell you what it is or whatever. But just like Google, if you didn't know anything about it, it doesn't tell you what it is, but it's easy to remember. You see what I'm saying? So it's what they call a brandable. I would have loved to have been able to get dogcheaphouses.com, but that's not available. So I said I'll go something even shorter, just dog cheap, spell it DAWG, right? Which people are familiar with, Go Dogs right there, in Georgia or whatever. And so, it's easy to just brandable. So again, so hey, y'all can take that and run with it or whatever. So
that was a gym.
So anyway,
sometimes they don't realize when the whole goal was thrown at them. So hopefully they caught it.
Yeah, they got it. That's the alley-oop. He dunked it. All right. So let me see here. Do you still offer personal coaching packages? Brian Parkman said, do you still offer personal coaching packages? What different coaching packages? Just text me, man. Just text me. Let me see. Let me just throw that up while I'm thinking about it, since you asked the question, since you threw me that curve, that snowball. So the number's right there on the screen. Brian, 205-492-3425. Just text or call me about it, and I'll be happy to share that info with you. Let me see here. Constantly do deals like what is okay, he asked you, how can I purchase property with no money? Okay, this is a basic, this is right out the womb right here.
right out the room.
Yeah, this is like one-on-one. Hey, this when you're filling out your class and you don't even know what to take, you know.
Exactly. Sign me up though. That sounds good. Yeah.
So,
wow.
Purchase a property with no money. Is that possible?
How much you handle that? Because I know you got made a lot of videos.
Oh yeah, well yeah. That's now when you say purchase a property, right? Now that means that you're trying to hold on to it. That's one thing. But if you're trying to do a real estate deal with no money and try to make money from it, that's what we're talking about on every Thursday night, and what my channel is dedicated to. But you can actually obtain real estate properties without no money. And what's so funny about it is that if you're pursuing wholesaling, you will have opportunities to be able to go into deals with sellers either through a subject to or a lease purchase, where you don't have to put any money down on the property. Those opportunities will present themselves. Now, what you want to do with the property, that's up to you. Normally, people will use them to cash flow with or whatever, or you may rehab it and sell it. That's the option. But you will have possession, some type of ownership, some type of interest in the property, and you don't actually, and you never put any money down. Now, wholesaling is the same process in the sense you've been able to do real estate without actually buying the property or whatever. So you want to, give a, I guess back to, your version of that, what I just said. So
no, absolutely. So that's exactly what we do here every Thursday is really teach how to buy and sell, because if you just purchase, then you would have to purchase. But if you buy and sell, we teach you how to buy and sell little or no money to purchase and sell a property. I always relate this. I mean, sometimes I take it to a place and I relate it to something that we use every day, a car. It's no different than if you knew a friend that was selling the car and you knew a friend that wanted the car, but they wanted to sell it for 10, your friend willing to buy it at 12, and you just made $2,000 because of assigning that car to your friend at 12. Is no different than any other piece of product that you can sell and wholesale without having to put any money into it. So think about it on that level. And that's exactly what we do on a daily basis, where we go put a property on the contract, and then hopefully we'll find an end buyer that is willing to buy it at a higher price, where now we can sell it with absolutely no money out of our pocket.
All right. Does my husband, or do my husband, I'll read it just as she put it, need to be present at closing? I guess she said I'm in Florida. She said, does my husband need to be there? Will my spouse need to be there at closing? I guess I guess depending on what you're doing. Yeah. Are you by selling a property that both of you all names on the property as for the deed or title? Or are you just trying to wholesale some properties? If his name is not on any of the contracts, no. If his name is not on the deed or of a property, no. But if so, yes. Or he doesn't have to be at closing, you can sign, they can present the documents through email, get them notarized or whatever, DocuSign. Technically it doesn't have to be there using technology or whatever. So it just depends, I guess, a little bit more information on that particular situation or whatever. So what do you think?
And you can also use a POA. So if he's just traveling for work and doesn't have time to be there, you can always use a POA for that transaction where he give you the power to sign for him for that particular transaction.
POA, aka power of attorney. Just what is a POA? So, yeah. So
power attorney, which your attorney can draw up.
Yeah. All right. So talk to me. All right. Okay. So someone says, Patrick Brown says, Ty, what does it mean if the property you're looking at doesn't show up with info on PropStream? Well, a couple of things could be going on there. Sometimes the actual address isn't correct or ID'd the same way that the county has it ID'd. Sometimes what the U.S. Postal Service and the owner may think the address is, which is the mailing address, may not be the same as what the city or the county has it as the address. It doesn't happen often, but that does exist. So sometimes you have to play with the houses next door. That's one of the things that, you could do that with PropStream too, by just normally it'll give you a map of the properties and it'll have them sectioned off by the parcels, and you just have to double click on those and it'll pull them up or whatever. So if you can identify the house address next door, maybe across the street, ideally on the left and the right of the house, normally you can figure out possibly what may be going on there with the address. That's normally what happens. That happens, from time to time when you're researching a property, where the county just has it differently than the mailing address or whatever. So, and it can just be off a number. Sometimes it'll be a totally different street, the way they name it and everything. So it just depends. The biggest thing, if the owner knows the parcel number, then that's when you can really find out what the actual address is with the county, and then you can search through PropStream or whatever service at that point. So, all right. So let me see here. Someone says, how do you pull comps for a multifamily?
That's a good question. I mean, one of the ways, just like if you was pulling comps for a regular house, you will do a search for other multifamilies that have sold in the area. Now, when you do that, you sometimes you may have to go a little bit farther out in the county because it is commercial. So that's one of the ways, because there are properties being bought, there are multifamilies and apartment complexes being purchased and sold on a monthly basis and yearly basis. So you can go out and you may have to go out months, you may have to go out miles, but at the end of the day, that will give you an idea of how much your property's worth. So what I usually do, and this is one tactic, there's so many different ways to evaluate a commercial property, multiple ways, but this is one tactic I use. So if I find another property in the area that have sold, I will divide the number of units into the purchase price, which give me some type of idea of how much each one of those properties sold for. I mean, each one lets me know how much each unit is selling for. And then if each unit sold for $75,000 in that property, and I'm getting my property for $35,000 a unit, that's kind of give you an idea of what will be the maximum value if that property is a property or a renovated property, or was it a property that need renovation? So that's one of the ways that you can find comps. Another way, so maybe you find an area that don't have a lot of activity, multifamily sold activity. So one of my other mentors, because he buys a lot of apartment complex, and this is one of the strategies that he uses as well. Well, he will divide the units, the number of units in the purchase price. So say, for instance, the purchase price was 1 million and there was 100 units. I think that's what, 25,000? No, it's not at 2.5 million. It's less than that. I don't have my calculator. But I would divide that into,
what you said?
I would divide that, what's that? 12,000, 12,500.
You said 1,100,000 units?
Yeah.
It's 10,000.
10,000 a unit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is divide my units up and determine what that price is. And then I will look for other condos in areas. So you may find condominiums in the area that's sold. So condominiums, as you know, is just like apartment complex, but each unit is owned by a different homeowner. So if a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in the condominium sold for this price, I can assume that my 1-bed, 1-bath should also be valued at this price. So it's multiple different ways to find comps. But those are a couple strategies that you can use as well.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing is that a lot of buyers, they'll compare that information that Renika gave, and sometimes not a lot of activity is one of the biggest issues
Yeah.
with multifamily, depending on the area. But the other thing is a lot of times they just buy based on the income that it either is producing or can produce, and depending on the condition and all of that. So now you get into cap rates and NOIs, which is net operating income. That's basically subtracting the expenses from the gross income, either per month or on an annual basis. And you take that and you divide that by the net. I'm sorry, that gives you the net operating income. And then if you take the price and divide it that amount, that'll give you a cap rate. So depending on the cap rate for that particular area, that particular property, and that may be 8, 10, maybe 6%, depending on the market or whatever. So if you could find something that has a cap rate, just like she was using per unit to evaluate the property, if the normal cap rate in that area is 8%, but you can get your deal at 12%, you have a deal in most cases. And depending on the occupancy and condition, all that stuff still factors in. So it's not as just cut and dry the way you look at it with houses. I know people think it is, but it is. To wholesale a multifamily, if you have a seller and a buyer, it's the same as a house. But to get to that point, it's totally different. Totally different. Too many other factors go into just whether, what it costs to fix a house or what this house sold for. It's just that simple with houses in most cases, or what other houses sold for. So, but hey, that's what we're here for. Hopefully that made sense to you. All right. This is for you. All right. Do you think that Metro Atlanta is an oversaturated market? The floor is yours, Renika Williams.
I have a yes and no. I feel that there's a lot of opportunities out here that people can take advantage of. But I speak to some investors. They're like, hey, I don't want to deal with all the competition, so I'm gonna go out to Macon, Athens, Columbus, and places like that. So honestly, it's it can be, but at the same time, it's still a lot of supply. So I wouldn't say it's oversaturated, but I would definitely say there's a lot of investors in the area and your competition is greater. However, I would say it's still a lot of opportunity. So you can still make your mark here. Doesn't matter all the competition. Like I always say, McDonald's is on the same street as Wendy's, and they,
make money.
They're right next to one another, but they sell the same products.
Chicken,
but
Burger King.
At the end of the day, some people are gonna like Burger King, some people are gonna like McDonald's, some people like Wendy's. At the end of the day, everyone's gonna have their preference. So find your lane in the midst of that saturated area, because just like I always would say, there may be 4 bandit signs on the same corner. Why would I just pick one? I want to talk to all 4 of y'all, because all of you all have different markets and different databases. So I don't believe in competition that much, be honest with you, because it's a numbers game and the numbers is here. So
yeah, you have to look at it in terms of this, man. Metro Atlanta is about 4 million. 4 million people, right? Now, not all of them own real estate, don't get me wrong, but all those people got to stay somewhere, right? So they're either renting or they're buying, right? If you did 30 deals in 2020, Renika wouldn't even know you and you may have made $250,000.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It just the entire state of Alabama is only 4 million and some change. That's just the city of Atlanta, the metro area. You know, not just the city, but what they consider the metro or the greater metropolitan area.
It's really something.
Yeah, so it really ain't possible, my man. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of activity, but that's a good thing. Just like the investors she talking about that want to move to Columbus and all that, but you got new ones coming in, just getting in the game. A lot of people that got money, right? And they just getting into real estate. You know what I'm saying? They may have been an engineer for the last 20 years, but now they want to start to build something beyond the income that they're getting from the engineer or a lawyer, an attorney, or whatever. Who knows what the situation is? Now they want to get it. You're going to always have that. Always have. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about the competition, man. Oh my God, don't worry about that. Get out there, your thing. You know, I just put up when this Flippinar started. I put up the video that they just started in 2019 and did 60 deals. You think wholesalers didn't exist before they started? You know what I'm saying? Just get out there. Don't worry about that part. That's one of those excuses. Excuses equals $0.
Exactly. Find your lane. Yeah. That's all I would say. Find your lane in the market, because one of the ways I stood out in the Atlanta market is the fact that, you know, the key is that everyone got something special. Everyone out here in this market has something special that every one of us could co-work with. And one of the things that I had the money. I had the buyer that bought 10, 15, 20 deals a month. And with that means that every wholesaler will want to do business with me because I can move their deal if they can't. So at the end of the day, find your niche and find your lane in this market. There'll always be someone that you could still co-work with and can make tons of money dealing with everybody else in the market, because each and every one of us have different gifts and we bring different things to the table.
All right, let me see if I can find one from Facebook. All right. Okay. Should I post? Let's see if I can get a cash buyer. Okay, this is one. I'm gonna try to focus on this right here. Okay, so that's a big one, ain't it? To cover the whole page. All right, so I went to see a house today, 3-1. The seller wants $125,000. Will take $122,000. It's minimal, has minimal updates. House are selling for $130,000 to $160,000 in this area. He has it on the contract with someone else. He told me to make an offer. Should I post pictures of the property to see if I can get a cash buyer? Also, how much should I sell it for? I mean, sell it to a buyer for? I was thinking $140,000. Okay. This is not a deal. I don't even have to put the calculator on.
I ain't got to put the numbers in. That's not a deal.
But for the sake of, you know, helping them out to understand why this isn't a deal. So if they say it's from $130,000 to $160,000, I'm just gonna go with $130,000 because they don't.
$130,000, absolutely. I always go with the lowest number. Anything else is icing on the cake.
All right, so here's dealator.com, my friend. I'm not sure if you're still here from Facebook, but go here, go over to the tab. You can just hit cut deal calculator, and boom, there you go. Put in $130,000. Well, that's 13. Even if the repairs were $1, it's still not a deal. It's still not a deal. You know, you're at, even if you only wanted to make $1, it's still not a deal. We're at 90,000. They had it on the contract for what amount? Like 190 or something like that. Yeah. Right. No, I'm sorry. I didn't take the thing down.
120. Oh, he didn't say what they had on the contract.
No, he said the guy wants 122 for it. Somebody else has it on another wholesaler has it, and they want to try to wholesale it for 125, and he got it for 122 is what he said. So we're at 90,000 basically, and the numbers don't work. It just, you know, nothing to talk about. The numbers don't work. You're not even close to the numbers being worked. So That's what that
And not saying it's
calculates.
not a good deal. It's not a good deal for an investor. It's maybe a really good deal from a homeowner that can walk in with 20, 30,000 of equity, but
Yeah,
it's not an investor deal.
right. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it just you got to know your numbers. Don't waste your time on a lot of this stuff. That's one of the reasons why I put the free calculator up there and just put them simple numbers in, because people say, well, what if it doesn't need them repaired? Well, put $1 in there then. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it always needs some type of.
And they always need something. Yeah.
It always needs something.
Yeah. Always.
Don't let them lie to you like that. It always needs something.
Always. Always. All right. So that was a good one there. Okay. So let me see what else we got. We producing event. Oh, okay. Somebody advertising here. All right. All right. He says I have my. Oh, okay. All right. So let me see. I didn't have LLCs around here. Okay. I'll just put this up just for you to make you smile. He said, I need cash buyers in Atlanta and surrounding.
Oh, wow.
I have 14 property deals available right now. So let me put information up.
Wait, email me.
DJ Incorreda. I don't know what that means.
I need deals now. Deals, properties. I need deals and properties are different.
Where is it? Throwing Renika's information up here for you to reach out to her.
Yes, email me your list. funding@fkfinancials.com and your contact information. Let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah, boom, there it is. Okay, so send me my check, Mr. DJ. Something. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So, okay, it's a good question. They're all good questions. I keep saying that. All right. How can I negotiate with New York sellers? We have a high market value, and sellers seem to think houses are worth $200K, i.e., worth $700K. Help me flip family. Well, a lot of people have the same attitude out in Southern California also, just poor parts of California in general. At the end of the day, New York is different. I can't say it ain't, because, you have, it ain't many markets where you have a building and you have 100 owners, you know what I'm saying? So that's just going to be a different dynamic. Each owner owns their actual dwelling, their apartment, or whatever, condo, or whatever they want to call it, or whatever. So a lot of that goes on there. So that's just a different dynamic in itself. So you have to understand that part of the market. But at the end of the day, people still get divorced in New York. They still die. They still lose jobs or income. People still get sick, create huge medical bills, which creates motivation. Tax bills, kids' tuition, relocation. I can just go on and on, just life. Your job is to make sure that you're talking to enough sellers, right, that the numbers just take over. You will stumble into deals. So without knowing what degree of marketing you're doing, it's hard for us to troubleshoot what you may not be doing, what you may be doing right, or may not be doing something well. So, but don't just think you can't do deals in New York. By no means. There are tons of real estate transactions going on in the city of New York. We talked about Atlanta being this. We're talking now 8 million people, and not even considering the surrounding areas. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the number is, y'all correct me on that. I know it's a ridiculous amount of human beings in a very small city or whatever. So yeah, what you got to add on that, baby girl?
I would say just stick to the numbers, stick to the facts. One thing I would say about New Yorkers is the Empire State of Mind. They want to make some money. So focus on the money, focus on the facts, and focus on the numbers when you're speaking with them. And, if they want to sell and they're motivated to move forward, but like Todd said, it's a numbers game. When you're only looking at one or two people, you put all your apples in one basket versus make sure you're talking 20, 30 sellers in New York at a time. Yeah. But I would say just stick to presenting the facts, because no one can argue with facts. You can think you're probably worth 700, but I'm gonna show you factually by the comps in the area in your neighborhood, your property's only worth this. And I have proof that your property only worth this, and I send you these comps. So stick to the facts, stick to the numbers.
That's what's up. So we are out on Instagram. What happened to my damn? Okay. So guys, this has been real. Y'all know I'm struggling here without Adrian. We done did an hour. I really appreciate everyone participating tonight. Hopefully we got a lot of questions answered. I'll let Renikia tell you who she are, what she offers, and then, you know, we will.
First and foremost, always, I'm totally thankful for being part of the Flipman Show. My name is Renikia Williams, founder and CFO of Fortune Key Financials. Our focus is to help you find the money, because we understand, yes, you can buy, to the guy who said that earlier, yes, you can buy real estate with absolutely little to no money. But if you want to take this thing to the next level and start really purchasing and flipping and things of that nature, you do need skin in the game. You need money. So we specialize in creative financing options. We can help you secure up to $100,000, $250,000 of either unsecured funding, term loans, or lines of credit to help you fund your next deal. We are also a private lender for residential fix and flip, buy and hold, and commercial private hard money loans. So if you want to take advantage of any route financing option, you can go to fundmynextdeal.com, or you can connect with me on the Facebook or Instagram platforms, or you can email me at the email on your screen here.
Boom. Hey, that's what's up. So guys, we really appreciate you participating in show number 128. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ask Flipman. So again, we really appreciate you participating. Hopefully this Flippinar 127 was helpful, and we will see you guys on the
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.